morning. My name is Rebecca Johnson. I am Executive Director of Design Philadelphia. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 38th Louis I. Kahn Award, honoring world-renowned architect, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the 38th, Louis I. Kahn Award and talk. Tonight we are honoring the world-renowned Kengo Kuma. Thank you so much to be here. We're so pleased to have you here, Kuma-san, with us tonight, and I appreciate you coming here to share the incredible work of your firm. So thank you. We continue this tradition every year, honoring the rich legacy of Louis Kahn's educational and architectural leadership. But before we jump into the program, this event would not be possible without the support of our sponsors. So I really want to give a shout out and a big thank you to John Gattuso and Ann Cummings and Janice. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. The presenting sponsor. Our platinum level sponsors, Milburn, Macris, Plusided, and Sadin. Thank you very much, Rich, Victoria, and Kevin, and MIS Capel. Thank you so much to Steve Gendler and to David Coleman, who supported our reception this evening. Our silver level sponsors are GBCA. Thank you so much, Ben. The Neubauer Family Foundation. Thank you, Joe and Jeanette Neubauer. Thornton Tomasetti. Thank you so much, Mark Coggin and Thomas Bryn. Pannoni, thank you so much, Craigie Bryson. Langan, thank you, Chris Hager and Christine Sabatini. You can always count on Christine for a shout out. Thank you, Christine. Keyston Hood, thank you so much to Denise Richards. Aegis, thank you so much to Megan Madera. Thank you, Field Operations, thank you, Sarah Weidner-Astheimer, and Cozen O'Connor, thank you so much, Howard Grossman. Our bronze sponsors this evening are National Real Estate Development, Gilbane, University of Pennsylvania, Japan American Society of Philadelphia, West 8, LF Driscoll, BFW Group, and our media partner is WHYY. So thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it. Tonight just feels very lovely to gather with almost 500 people. Thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to be in a room and hear from one of the world's best architects with a bunch of people who really just are passionate about the design and the built environment. But it also serves as a fundraiser for Design Philadelphia's design education program that we do both at the college level and K through 12. So last year, we were very honored and lucky and thrilled to have our inaugural JADE Fellows Program. And JADE stands for Justice Alliance in Design Education. We had 5 young architecture students from all 5 architecture programs in Philadelphia who spent 9 weeks with Michael Spain and I. They each got a $10,000 fellowship award, and we just talked to them about the future of what their architecture degree could do for them and what they could do for places that they loved, right? And I'm really proud of this program. It's been a catalyst. I want to also thank the 22 visits and 55 professionals that we did last summer. We had 2 workshops and 3 professional networking events, and they all did capstone projects, kind of continuing what they learned from the summer also at their culture. Here they are with our AIA president from 2024, Kim Dowdell, and our HOK visit. It was a lot of work, but I loved every minute of it, so I'm very proud of it. So thank you for supporting that. And we also have a K through 12 program that's growing year after year. We've met 1,500 students, 24 schools, 39 firms, 200 professional volunteers, not just architects, engineers, interior designers, textile designers, graphic designers, 52 student volunteers. So thank you to, I think, Drexel, Jefferson, and Temple for having their students in the classroom with us. And we do lots of workshops all over the place in partnership with lots of organizations. So we really are doubling down on this work, and I have a short video to show you about it.
This is like the football field, and this we're gonna make like some little posters. I made a dog right here.
Oh, that's good. Just gonna say, you love your mom. Oh, I love that. Super smart. They are thinking on a totally different level right now, thanks to the program. Allows them to think about things that they wouldn't think about neighborhood, how it looks, how it's designed. So it really just broadened their, mindset.
We think it's part of our charge to go to these schools, go to these areas, these populations, and introduce students to architecture and design.
Children know who they can be by what they see. So when we bring architecture into our space, into our children, they're able to see that they can create these things.
This gives students a great opportunity to learn the real life experience of an architect and all the different types of career paths that they could get into.
Not just career paths, but vocabulary that we've been using in our everyday lessons. It's changed the whole dynamic of my class in such a positive way. They know when our architects are coming in, they are geared up, they're ready to go, they're running back from recess every day because they're ready to start these projects.
Getting a general sense for how design works and how things are thought through, and that really anyone can be part of the design process and have their opinions heard and influence how the world around us is shaped.
Historically, there's an underrepresentation of minorities in the kind of discipline of architecture. We can begin to understand what a pipeline looks like for diversifying and increasing representation within discourse.
And I think it's helpful to just get a sense of context where we are and the people who have access and don't have access to design education sometimes.
This is a real opportunity to engage. That's why I would encourage firms to consider joining this program to better, again, our profession and the people that we're touching in general. If we really are concerned about how effective we are as a profession in all of the communities that we're in, we need to touch those communities in some way.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of AIA Philadelphia and Design Philadelphia.
We need designers from every background, every perspective, to really help us solve some of the most pressing problems facing our city and our region. I hope that our firms, colleagues, community can really see this as an opportunity to inspire the next generation of designers.
So thank you for being here and supporting that. I want to ask Michael Spain, our Director of Design Education, and Liza Niles, our Manager of Design Education, to rise and give them a round of applause because they work so hard. Thank you very much, Michael and Liza. All right. And now I would love, this event doesn't happen without the perseverance, passion, and just kind of effort and passion that Bill McDowell has. So I want to invite to the stage our chair of the Louis Kahn Memorial Committee, Bill McDowell.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Rebecca. And it really is a pleasure to be able to do it. I wish all of you could stand here and look out here. It's just a wonderful scene, a wonderful room, and it's a nice evening. I mentioned last year that we've lost many of the individuals that had a direct connection to Lou Kahn. That happens. It's the 38th annual Louis Kahn Memorial. And we now rely on those people, that the next generation of those people that worked for him and that knew him, to pass on that legacy. And so we hope to continue to do that. The beauty of this profession, though, is that the buildings still stand. And that really is what's wonderful about this profession, is that you're designing a built environment that lasts way longer than you do, and that can teach in and of itself. This annual honor is not bestowed upon architects that imitated him, and past honorees have had vastly different styles of architecture. This really is an honor that we bestow to those, like Kahn, who strive for beauty, who innovate, who seek the timeless, who teach and nurture, and now, importantly, protect our planet. We're thrilled this year to honor someone whose practice is based upon those principles, whose influence is worldwide, and someone that understands the responsibility of what comes with that notoriety. Thank you, Kuma-san, for accepting our invitation. Design Philadelphia and the Kahn event look to gather the profession and the many friends to celebrate the importance of design and recognize achievements. Tonight, I would like to express the gratitude that I have for the Philadelphia community, those of you out there who have come out year after year to support this event. This has become a familiar place to see one another every year. Sometimes we have to ring the bell to shut down the bar to get people to come down here, but that's okay. But more importantly, to celebrate Philadelphia's role in the architectural education process. Thank you, Michael. The experimentation, launch of new ideas in planning and design, and simply the importance our community places on the design profession should be recognized. This is what the Kahn event is all about. Lastly, I would like to follow up, Rebecca, with a special thanks to John Gattuso and Ann. John is the longest and most significant contributor to this event over the past 38 years. John is responsible for much of the skyline of Philadelphia. This is where we're supposed to put up the Gattuso slide. Oh, do I have the clicker? Yeah. Oh. Thanks. No? There we go.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. John is responsible for much of the skyline of Philadelphia through his work with the Rouse Company, Liberty Property Trust, and now with his own firm, Gattuso Development Partners. And along with Ann Cummings, he's looking to make a new mark on Philadelphia with the nearly complete project a few blocks away. Looking good, John. John has set a high design standard in Philadelphia from large to small. Design matters. Selecting an architect and consultants, managing the design process, John is involved. He's thoughtful, demanding, and like a good developer, pushes it. Doesn't always know where it's going, but knows it's going to be good. He insists on that. John and Ann, we truly look forward to your next project. I see a few gaps in the skyline. Thank you. And if we could give John and Ann a round of applause, thanks. I'd now like to turn this over to what I consider to be a special guest, Mira Nakashima, to introduce our honoree. Mira Nakashima is an architect, furniture maker. She's the daughter of George Nakashima and is now the president creative director. Amazing story in her own right. During World War II, Mira was sent to an internment camp in Idaho when she was 6 weeks old. And that's where her father learned woodworking under a master carpenter. She is an amazing story, and we thought the cultural connection between her and Kuma-san was appropriate for this evening. So Mira, if you could come forward and introduce our honoree, that would be great.
Well, it's a humbling honor and privilege to introduce Kengo Kuma as the 2025 recipient of the Louis Kahn Award in Excellence of Architecture, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of this than he. Emerging from the same humble roots of rural architecture in Japan as my grandparents, Mr. Kuma has expanded the ancient wood traditions to an amazing scale. Incorporating modern structure technology plus a creative imagination that both stands on the shoulders of his ancestors and soars into hitherto unknown territory. He was born the same year as my younger brother Kevin, who passed away in 2020. He studied at the National University Gaidai, where my father's best friend Junzo Yoshimura taught. He studied and taught at Columbia University and has received many awards previously, including the 1997 Architectural Institute of Japan Award, the 2009 Officier de l'Ordre des Arts des Lettres in France, and the Global Sustainable Architecture Award in 2016. He studied and was inspired by much of the same architecture as my father and me, especially the Katsura Imperial Villa in Kyoto, which increased his respect for and attention to small, intimate spaces, and the interpretation of space and light as man's relationship to nature. Kenzo Tange's 1964 Olympic Stadium inspired him to become an architect and was under construction when I was studying architecture at Waseda University. Mr. Tange had worked in the office of Anton and Raymond, as had my father before him. Although Taschen, the book company, observes that Mr. Kuma's work is softer and more feminine in design, Daniela Ohad, who's a friend of mine, writes that Kengo Kuma's architecture looks as if it grows out of nature, yet also corresponds with technology, sustainability, and human life. In his book, he's written a lot of books, by the way, which is probably why he got that special award from France. In his book, Point, Line, Plane, he insists that geometrical, physical, aesthetic, and spiritual concepts can and do coexist, and that his architecture of lines is indeed not just a structure, but a poetry. Daniela goes on to say that Kengo Kuma's architecture is like sushi, related to nature, the landscape, and the seasons, rooted in modernism as well as in traditional Japan. Like William Morris in his time, he looked to indigenous architecture for inspiration and authenticity. During the pandemic, Mr. Kuma fortuitously turned towards his Japanese roots, worked on a smaller scale, and completed several projects using both wooden structure and wood as decoration, using fresh new variations on an ancient theme. Although he has created many works of monumental scale, I have personally only visited two, the Nezu Museum in Tokyo and the Visitors Center at the Portland Japanese Garden in Oregon, both of which use wood as, to my mind, deconstructed as linear patterns rather than purely structural elements. We at Nakashima's made a large, beautiful maple burl conference table for the Portland Japanese Garden Visitors Center, which a few years ago, which retains the tree's natural forms, but seems to fit quite happily into Mr. Kuma's rectilinear wooden architecture. I look forward to seeing and hearing more about the projects which he will now show us. Congratulations, Kuma-sensei. Omedetou gozaimasu.
Right. Kuma-san, if you would please join us for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mira-san. Thank you very much for introducing me as a connection with fathers and also the connection with the Luikans. As many things are connected together in here in Pennsylvania. Today, it is a great honor to receive the Kahn Award, because from student time, I'm a big fan of Louis Kahn, and I studied many buildings of him, and also I visited many buildings of him. And 2016, as I visited the archive of Louis Kahn, and they showed me the suitcase of Louis Kahn. And it's a beautiful suitcase. He traveled a lot to many places, and his lifestyle is a kind of model of my daily life. Actually, I love Bangladesh, and now we are designing one train station in Bangladesh. The Bangladesh peoples still respect Louis Kahn very much, and his building in Bangladesh is really amazing. Very impressing. And today I want to start the two of his buildings. The one building is the Fisher House. As intimacy is very important for this building. So using the wood, there is the dimension of wood is very, very important. So he did use plank of wood, and the flame, and the size of the flame and size of the plank has some special harmony, and I really like the warmness and intimacy of this building. And there's also the furnitures. So he tried to integrate furniture and interior and architecture. The integrations of those three things is very, very important for him. And especially this corners is one of my favorite corners of the building. And in Bangladesh, I saw this building. It's a really amazing building. And he tried to create a new type of monumentality. His monumentality is different from monumentality of classicism. His monumentality is deeply connected with a place, and deeply connected with the land itself. And it is different from classicism, it is different from modernism. He really achieved something new, something spiritual. And in this as a building, I found the coexistence of intimacy and monumentality. This coexistence is very, very important for my practice. And this is a view from sky. It looks like the ancient ruins, and the geometry of that building is very, very unique. This geometry is different from geometry of classicism, and of course the geometry is different from the geometry of modernism. He found the new type of geometry. It's just very new, but at the same time, it looks very ancient, very pure, very natural. And the scale of this as a big stairs is amazing. And I walked and stepped on these stairs. Unforgettable experience I had. This is the interior. The detail, if you look carefully, the detail is sometimes very rough, but the roughness doesn't disturb the beauty of this building. When I'm working for Bangladesh, I really like to do the project in some the different places, but I always want to follow the method of Louis Kahn. And then today I'm very, very happy to receive the award named on him. And I want to start from the National Stadium. That as Mina-san mentioned, I was influenced by Kenzo Tange, the 1964 Olympic. The first Tokyo Olympic was 1964. I was at the age of 10. My father brought me to the Kenzo Tange's gymnasium. It's a huge gymnasium. And I was so surprised to see that beautiful building. It looked like totally different from the other buildings. And there's the verticality of his building and the organic shape of his building is very shocking. And on that day, I made a big decision. Okay, I should become architect on that day. And after 60 years here today, and luckily I had a chance to design the Olympic 2021 Olympic in Tokyo. And I thought, what is the difference of 1964 and 2021? 1964 Japan is in the peak of economical growth, economical expansion. But 2021 is a very quiet time. The economy is slowly dropping, and a few kids, elderly generation, that kind of things is 2021. And I want to create the building which is touching to the ground. The relationship with the ground is the most important theme for this project. And also material-wise, I try to create a contrast. Kenzo Tange did use concrete and steel in a very beautiful way, but as I decided to use wood, and also, again, it is a plank. Maybe almost same dimensions as Fisher House's plank facade. 4 inches is the basic module of this building. So the size of every plank is same, 4 inches. And but gap is between the plank, space between the plank is not same. If you look carefully, you can find the difference of the space. By changing the space, our engineers try to control the wind, the natural wind is get into the building. So how to bring natural wind is the theme of this building, without air conditioning. And we and our engineers try to create the perfect climate in the building. And the series of roof is pushing the building to the ground. The Kenzo Tange's verticality, the vertical concrete columns, but our direction is totally opposite. Series of horizontal roof is creating the shadows, and by using that method, I want to show the contrast of 2021, 1964. Please look at the plank. And this is also related with this kind of old building. This building was amazingly built 7th century. It's still surviving. 1,300 years, still surviving. The magic of this long life is the small, intimate unit. This small, intimate unit is creating the intimacy, adding the intimacy to the building, the same as Fisher House, and also it is replaceable. That means if some part damaged, the people can replace the small unit. It is advantage of the wooden building. And a concrete building, to replace the part is very, very difficult. But the wooden building with small particles, small unit, we can replace the damaged part of the building. And this is a secret behind the long lives, more than 1,300 years. And the cities of and also the cities of roof is a kind of sustainable design. The cities of roof is protect the building from natural light and bringing wind to the building and protect wood from sunlight. And that design is the basis of Japanese design, and it is very similar to the contemporary sustainable design. And and the series of loop is a method is now we are using for the Brandywine project as here. And so we won the competition Brandywine project, so we are very happy to do the project here in Philadelphia. And as a roof is most important vocabulary for the project. The roof is best way to connect the building to the ground. And so now we are working the Brandywine project with show silvers and field and field operations together. So I want to show the completion of the building soon. And this is showing the detail of the project. And this part is a public promenade. And most of the stadium is separated from the community, separated from the environment. But in this project, I want to connect the community and the building. And this is a public promenade is public space. And even as in the holidays, no game day, so this space is open to public, and the people can enjoy this space. This is a concept behind the Olympic Stadium. And this is a night time, so people are using this space for remote work, also drinking, the date, and it is that kind of public space. And the interior, I also want to create intimacy for interior. And as a structure-wise, we combine steel structures and the wooden structure, and create the kind of forest feeling. As the color of the seat, so we applied this multiple mosaic color solution. And this day, no people, because of COVID. The Olympic was held in the COVID, and there's no people allowed into the stadium. But actually, the athlete said, I feel many people watching me because of this seat design. So I'm very happy to hear that. And the photovoltaic panels is covering the roof. And as photovoltaic panels and wooden constructions is showing our philosophy about sustainability. And as a filtered light, as a soft light, as we call this kind of light, komorebi light in Japanese, and komorebi means the light in the forest. Darkful light in the forest. And nighttime, again, there's no people. There's no audience, but it looks like full of audience, even in nighttime. As a use of the particles and the use of small element, is not coming from intuition. Sometimes we are working with geometry. It is also a method of Louis Kahn. And I wrote this book as a point line planes. I'm explaining our method by using the metaphors of line, point, planes. So in other small projects, we also try to show the beauty of small particles, intimate element. As Japan has a long tradition of using that kind of joint, and as Japanese carpenters cut the piece like this. And finish. It's simple. Looks simple, but it's a long history behind the disjoint system. And we worked with a student to build the small pavilion, and as a carpenters prepare those joints, and my student assemble those materials, and without any nail and without any metal. It's just the simple joint system. And after this small experimental pavilion in Italy, so we built the 3-story building by the similar system. And as I want to show this kind of as a secret behind the system. And computer technology glass. Maybe student knows glasshoppers. Glasshoppers is very helpful to create this kind of building. And the structural engineers and we are working together on the same platform. And it is a difference from the age of Louis Kahn and our age. Louis Kahn respected structural engineer very much. They work together closely, but in our period, in our age, we can work on the platform of computers. This is interiors of this museum. It's a 3-story, 10 meters high building, but without any column, without any beam. Only the tiny bars are supporting the building. Look up the ceiling like this. And as a bridge, sometimes we design the structure like bridge. The same method is applied. The space is covered by the roof. The wood bridge has a long history. In Europe and in China, there existed the wooden bridge, and sometimes covered by the roof. And for the same village, we designed the building inspired by this small building, and this was used as cafe on the street. Japanese cafe is very humble like this, and the thatch is the material for this hotel of the village. And before war, the thatch was a very normal material for the houses, but after war, now we almost disappearing. But thatch is very important material in the natural circulation. The people cut the glass to make the thatch roof, And after 20, 30 years, the thatch is used for fertilizers or the food for the cows. That kind of circulation is the basis of the Japanese economy and the Japanese ecosystem. And sometimes we work for Starbucks. As this is a very important the shrine in Japan, and in front of the shrine is you see the torii gate and the special location. The Starbucks came to us, and as we proposed them to apply this structural system. So again, this is structure again. This is not decoration. And there's again the grasshoppers helps us a lot, like this. And there's those small bars that are supporting the building itself. As again, I want to create the forest in the city. And after Starbucks, the Taiwanese pineapple cake company came to me. As a Chinese tea and Taiwanese pineapple cake. And again, no column and no beam. The doors system is supporting the building. And simply said, this system is more complicated than the one-story Starbucks. And 3 layers of the joineries is creating this the solid system. But the dimensions is of the bars is same as Starbucks. Is 2 inches, 2.2 inches, 2.5 inches, and it's very, very tiny element. In China, we did this bamboo house project, and this project started in 1998, and it was a big challenge because the construction the method in China was different from Japan. And to find a good carpenter is not easy in China, but we tried to achieve the building by bamboo in the different conditions. It's a challenge. That kind of challenge is I also very much influenced by the method of Kahn. And again, the intimacy is very important. So as the diameters of bamboos, we decided 2 inches diameters for every bamboo. And this is the main as a tea room in the house. And as the next project in China is a museum of China Academy of Art. It is a university museum in Hangzhou. And as a material we found there is roof tile, ceramic tile. As following the landscape like that, we don't want to cut the topography of the place. The building is following the landscape, and the materials is coming as a recycled material from the abandoned houses. And as the diversity of ceramic tiles is naturally as achieved by that kind of recycled system. And we designed special screens for this as a museum. This is detail of the museum, the effect of natural light the filtering through the screen. And as a newest project in China is the Yixing, the ceramic museum. And the Yixing is the location is here, just beside the big lake. And Yixing is famous for this kind of pottery. It's a beautiful, as a brown pottery is coming from there. And those are the factories. In the center of the factories, all other buildings are the factories. Those are the factories. As we design the museum of pottery. And again, we try to use a local material and create intimacy by the local material. And the factories and our building is totally integrated. And geometry-wise, this is based on the Boolean operations. You know the Boolean operations. And the Boolean operations simplify the structural system of the building. The structural system is actually the wooden structure. You see the wooden structures inside. As the diameters of this Boolean operation is consistent, and then so we can simplify the system. It is good for the economy of the project. There's a new project in Seoul, Korea, is called Audium. It's an audio museum. As a big collectors of the audio system, speaker systems, in the 20th century, and it's mainly from America. Western Electric, the company like that, were producing the amazing speaker system, and the quality of the sound is much better than the digital sound. And the collectors want to show that kind of system as visitors can experience the sound system of that period. As a sound, we thought, as an instrument, it has often the shape of pipe organs, trumpet, saxophones, that kind of instrument is related with this shape. And as I try to create a forest of pipes. The interior is a combination of the pipes, and as a wood is good for acoustic. Yeah, I want to show the special videos. The video was made by Kengo. Kengo is a graphic designer, a Japanese graphic designer, and he was working as an artistic director of Muji for a long time. And in UK, we also try to create a kind of monument inspired by nature of the place. North of Scotland, the site is close to this beautiful sea cliff. This is my first sketch about the image of the building. We push the building into the river, and the connection with river, the connection with nature is the theme of this practice. As the nature has a kind of roughness, and as a facade is made by the precast concrete, but as a movement, and every angle is not consistent. The vibrations effect is happen. This is explaining how we make this kind of vibration. And in the center of the building, cut the building like that to create cave. This triangular shape is very similar to the Louis Kahn's triangular cut for the Bangladesh building. And the interiors, we believe as a natural material is in the intimate scale, and to create a warmness to the place. The living room for the city is a concept we propose them in the competitions, and they really like this concept. And Prince and Princess like this concept as well. And it is Kadokawa Museum in the suburb of Tokyo. The uniqueness of building is a solidness. This building design is a little bit different from our normal design, but we try to create new type of monument. As a V&A project is also new type of monument we will try to achieve, and this project we try to achieve something similar to V&A by the stone, but the thickness of the stone is almost double as a normal stone. As the interiors, we have the library, but the library is not as a bookshelf is not parallel. It's just randomness, vibrations, something like that. And same as a facade, vibration, randomness. And in Denmark, we designed Hans Christian Andersen Museum. It is a model for the competition. We push the building into the ground as possible as can. And finally, the building is merging to the environment. It's connected with us as a community. As we have no wall, the community museum is totally connected. And the wooden structure, again, combined with vegetation. And in Sydney, Australia, there's another type of monument by the intimate material. It is the magic behind the material. And in Sydney, recently, many skyscrapers were built, but as a community want to have the intimate space in the center of the city. And as a relationship with the public park is important. And as we have this kind of canopies, the canopies to connect building and the public park. Yeah, that kind of a relationship. And the newest project is a museum we built in Lisbon, is Gulbenkian Museum. And for this museum, so we propose Engawa idea. The Engawa means in-between space, between gardens and architecture. And if you visit Kyoto, you can find many Engawa space between the garden and the building. As this competition is for the extension of the existing building, and as most of the schemes is proposing adding books, but we try to add roof to the existing museum, and this is a roof we propose, and actually. The new exhibition space is underground, and underground and the roof is the basis of this proposal. And we are selected, and we propose local material, the ash from the forests of Portugal, and for the roof, we propose a ceramic tile, traditional ceramic tile, from the factory, small factory from Portugal. And the tiny steel columns. It is not pipe, it's a solid steel. And we also did an innovation for the existing part, but as my favorite space is this. The gardens and the old buildings are connected by Engawa. And you see the ceramic tiles on the roof. And in Spain, we did a very small project for Antonio Gaudi building. Casa Bartolo is the name of the Gaudi building, this beautiful, colorful building. But Gaudi's idea is also the intimacy and natural. And his model is the fishes and the shells in the sea. And this is a main atriums. And what we can do is design the small stairs. Gaudi didn't design the stairs. It is new fire escape stairs. And the foundation came to us asking to do the interior for the small stairs. But it's a great honor for me to add something to Gaudi. And this is our design. It is the magic behind the shape. And this is the stairs and we did use as a metal chain. And also metal chain is not expensive material. But we can try to get the special effect by the inexpensive material. And in Singapore, what we are doing is a founders' memorial. Founders is Lee Kuan Yew, as a very famous politician, he founded the country in 1960s, and his first concept for Singapore is a garden city. I like that concept very much, and in front of the skyscrapers, we propose this building. And this is a typical monument project. Most of the architects submit the huge monumental sculptural monument, but as we propose this kind of green buildings merging to the landscape. And the interiors full of lot of wood. And I want to show the contrast of the skyscraper metal cities, warm, intimate, the green city. And besides those bigger projects, we are we are enjoying the small project. Lastly, I want to show the small projects like this. This is a tea house. It is a kind of instant tea house. If people want to use a tea house, bring the tea house from the storage, and in 15 minutes we can build this tea house. The peanuts tea house. And inside is very intimate. The tatami, the fireplace in center, nighttime. And this is the experimental, environmental house in Hokkaido. The material is membrane, no the solid material, actually no insulation. The air is circulating, and then Hokkaido is very, very cold in winters, but by the air circulation system, we can keep the temperature of interior. And we are working with Tokyo University's engineers and test it, and minus 20 outside, but just 2 layers of membranes, so we can survive. And this is a small project we proposed, we showed in Milan Triennale, and umbrella is the basis of this design. It is umbrella house. And our idea is when earthquake happens, when tsunami happens, we can carry this umbrella to make the refugee house with friends. And 15 students worked together, and in one day they assemble this umbrella house. And this is very much related with the Fuller Dome by Buckminster Fuller. And Buckminster Fuller's and Louis Kahn's had special connection. They influenced each other. And Buckminster Fuller also invented the Dymaxion dome and tensegrity structure system. And tensegrity is a combination of compression and tension, the two type of powers can have the balance. And by the tensegrity system, we can minimize the flame. The flame like that is the same dimensions as a normal umbrella. But with the tensions of the membranes, the membrane came from DuPont, actually, and can support this kind of structure. And the joint is a zipper. And the zippers, the umbrellas can make the house. And Balaj is here, but Balaj, our staff, Balaj is here. And this is a small, also experimental project is showed in the New York MoMA. As a hint is a water tank. The water tank is sometimes used for construction site. So home delivery is a theme of exhibition MoMA. And we designed this type of new water tank. So we are making the special water tank, and this is the size, and the water is flowing in this tank. And the basic idea is that this house is made by one single unit, one small unit. And as the student assembles this small unit and connecting the unit, connecting like this, and as the water is flowing in the wall and the floors and the ceiling, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, and the idea is we should learn from the system of human body. The human body is assembled of small cells, small particles. As small particles can make anything if we design carefully. This is the basis of this design. As a bed and kitchen, everything is made by this one single unit. And lastly, I want to show the ongoing project. It will come as a Venice Biennale this year. The opening is May 7th, next month. So we call this project Maison Domino 3.0, and inspired by the living tree. And the comparison with the Maison Domino's 1914 by Le Corbusier. So we propose this kind of organic, natural, intimate as a house. So now people are working very hard to make this house in Venice, but I'm not sure it will complete on that day. It is very difficult project. And we worked with Italian 3D cutting machine companies. So this is a joint of living wood, living tree. This material is very soft. And the trees and tree and the branch can be connected like this. We are enjoying that kind of systems, we learn many things from Louis Kahn. Because Louis Kahn his basis is challenge. He tried to create the new type of the monument, but a normal monument is too rigid, too solid, too heavy, whereas he tried to create an intimate monument. And the dimension is also very important. The small particles is the basis of his design, like Fisher House, and many projects of him is designed carefully about the dimension. And today I'm very, very happy to receive the award of his name. And I want to continue this challenge with you. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Avizier. I'm the board chair for Design Philadelphia, as well as an architect at AOS Architects. And wanted to say thank you all so much for coming this evening and celebrating design with us. That's what Design Philly is about, right? Celebrating design, what it can be, where it's going, and really helping to drive our K through career professionals and students to see what the possibilities are. And I think this was an excellent example of that. I come up on stage tonight in awe of everything that was just shown to us. Thank you so much for providing an insight into your firm and your work and your thought process. The connection of the public and the building, as well as the intimacy you work to create, exemplifies the design that we all strive to achieve. In many ways, your work parallels Louis Kahn's in so many ways that you described, but also the intimacy of use of material, defining what a new monument is, and showcasing your passion for design in every groundbreaking achievement, whether it be a monumental Olympic stadium or an inflatable tea house. So, it is my honor, on behalf of Design Philadelphia, to present you, Kengo Kuma, with the 2025 Louis Kahn Award in honor of your distinguished achievements as architects for contributing to the storied legacy of Kahn with your presentation this evening. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. That was really magnificent, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. The evening is over. Thank you all to our sponsors. I also, before we leave, I want to thank my team. Thank you so much to Jelani, Jermaine, Trebor, Zaina, Carly, Lois, Michael, and Liza. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.